We heartily welcome today's distinguished dignitaries and guests to the inaugural session of the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. I would like to request you all to take your seats. With the kind permission of the Honorable Chief Guest, we will now begin the inaugural session of the 6th Indian Ocean Conference.
Excellencies, we will begin with an audiovisual presentation. Now, an audiovisual on the 6th Indian Ocean Conference will be screened.
Gateway towards a resilient future. The Indian Ocean region matters today, arguably more than ever. This region has become the epicenter of international trade, technology, and strategic affairs. This region holds tremendous geopolitical, geo-economic, and geostrategic importance. The vast maritime and continental expanse encompasses countries ranging from continental islands to tiny archipelagos and contains multiple culturally distinct entities. For thousands of years, seafarers, merchants, artisans, missionaries, and adventurers traded their goods, technologies, ideas, and faiths from one side of the ocean to the other. The Indian Ocean region faces many traditional and non-traditional challenges. Maintaining peace and fostering prosperity in the region is of paramount importance to the countries of the region. To this end, partnership and collaboration are essential to harness the available synergies for common good. With a vast reserve of natural resources and straddling the major supply chain routes, IOR has become an integral part of global strategic thinking. With a vision towards mutual growth and prosperity, the 6th Indian Ocean Conference will bring stakeholder nations together to discuss and deliberate on the theme of peace, prosperity, and partnership for a resilient future. As a maritime nation, Bangladesh has a policy geared towards a stable and peaceful maritime space. Bangladesh's founding father, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, envisioned maritime space as a zone of peace. Bangabandhu's philosophy on the maritime space has been continued till now by his dynamic and able daughter, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Under her leadership, Bangladesh has adopted its long-term vision policy, the Delta Plan 2100, to make its land, rivers, and the ocean sustainable for future generations. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government is working to ensure a safe and secure environment and safeguard marine resources for economic prosperity. Bangladesh is situated at the heart of the Indian Ocean region and believes that she has a stake in the future of this region. To this end, Dhaka welcomes all honored guests and delegates to the 6th Indian Ocean Conference 2023 for deliberating, debating, and discussing on how we can reach our common objective of a sustainable, resilient, and prosperous future.
Thank you all for watching. Excellencies, distinguished guests, may I request Dr. Ram Madhav, President of India Foundation, to come on the podium and address the audience. Mr. Ram Madhav.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar, good evening, and Shubha Sandhya. Welcome to the 6th edition of the annual Indian Ocean Conference hosted by India Foundation, New Delhi, in association with the Ministry of External Affairs of Government of India and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Government of Bangladesh. Friends, Indian Ocean is the third largest water body on Earth. It is stretching from the Persian Gulf to the states of Malacca. It's home to 38 nations with a population of over 2.5 billion. 1/4 of the world's humanity lives here, 1/4 of the world's economy is situated in this region. Almost 80% of the world's oil trade passes through this region, and about 60% of the container trade also passes through Indian Ocean region. This region has another very unique characteristic. The nations of this region are bonded together through a very strong cultural and civilizational history. From Indonesia to Iran, and from East Africa to the ASEAN, people stand testimony to this historic and cultural connect. Friends, Indian Ocean region has its own distinct character, identity, and its own challenges. The Indian Ocean Conference, started 6 years ago, is not an exclusive club or any alliance. It is a forum led by foreign ministers of India, Bangladesh, Singapore, and Oman, with the objective of bringing together the leaders from the region, I'm putting from the region in quotes, and make them leaders of the region. It's like the Indian Ocean Parliament, where the stakeholders of the region come together to build a peaceful, free, prosperous, and inclusive Indian Ocean region to which the destinies of all our countries are tied. We have, in this year's conference, a ministerial participation from over 17 countries, and another 15 countries are represented by officials and scholars. I extend a warm welcome to all the leaders, scholars, and delegates to the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, there couldn't have been a better destination for this conference this year than Dhaka. Father of the nation of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, had once declared his country's mission as friendship with all and malice towards none. This conference will be a befitting tribute to him in his centenary year. We are very thankful to his very able daughter, a bold and visionary leader, whom many describe as the Iron Lady of South Asia, Her Excellency Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, for agreeing to host this conference in Dhaka this year. We all know, friends, that under her leadership, Bangladesh has been transformed into a rising regional economic power. Thank you, ma'am, for your leadership. Friends, we are honored to have the president of another very important Indian Ocean power, Mauritius, His Excellency Prithviraj Singh Rupan. He is not just a politician, not just a leader, he is also a thought leader. Thank you, Excellency, for your presence. His Excellency Faisal Naseem, Vice President of Maldives, is a young and rising star of the island nation's political landscape. He was with us last year at the Abu Dhabi Conference, Indian Ocean Conference 2021. Excellency, happy that you are back with us in this conference also. Welcome to you. His Excellency Dr. S. Jaishankar, the Foreign Minister of India, is a household name in the diplomatic circles in the world. A seasoned diplomat and a leader with clarity and vision, Dr. Jaishankar has been an integral part of the Indian Ocean conferences right from the inception in 2016. Thank you for being there as the mentor of this path-breaking initiative, Excellency. Friends, Indian Ocean Conference first ever edition took place in Singapore in 2016. Since then, His Excellency Vivian Balakrishnan, the Foreign Minister of Singapore, has been an integral part of this series of conferences. We miss him this year due to a clashing ASEAN event. But we are so happy and delighted to have his colleague and a senior minister in the government of Singapore, His Excellency Dr. Maliki Usman, with us today. Excellency, welcome to this conference. Another important leader whose presence in person will be missed today is the Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, His Excellency Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen. He is, because of some health reasons, he is not going to be personally attending this conference, but we will have his address virtually. He is already there on the screens. Excellency, welcome to you. However, we are quite delighted to have his very able colleague and a long-time associate of the India Foundation and also an integral part of this series of Indian Ocean conferences right from the beginning, His Excellency Muhammad Shahryar Alam, Minister of State, External Affairs, Government of Bangladesh. He will be with us today evening. Excellency, welcome to you also. Friends, on behalf of the India Foundation, I welcome all these excellencies to this inaugural session of the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency Ram Madhav, for your address.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honor to invite the Honorable Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, His Excellency Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, to deliver his welcome remarks. Honorable Foreign Minister will be joining us virtually.
Thank you. Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, Honorable President of Mauritius, His Excellency Prithviraj Singh Rupan, Honorable Vice President of Maldives, His Excellency Faisal Naseem, Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, His Excellency Dr. S. Jaishankar, participating foreign ministers, ministers and state ministers from other countries, excellencies, esteemed guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum, namaskar, and good evening to you all. It is my pleasure to welcome you all in this vibrant, bustling, and colorful city of Dhaka for this very important 6th Indian Ocean Conference 2023. We are particularly thankful to Honorable President of Mauritius and Honorable Vice President of Maldives for their kind, gracious presence in this inaugural session. Our sincere gratitude to Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina for kindly gracing this event. I am truly delighted to see such a remarkable turnout of esteemed foreign ministers, high government officials, diplomats, panelists, scholars, media, and civil society representatives from various parts of the world. I was really excited to meet and greet everyone in person, but unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond my control, I had to greet and welcome you all virtually. I register our sincere thanks to Ministry of External Affairs, India, and India Foundation for this collaboration, especially Sri Ram Madhav. We believe this conference holds immense significance in terms of bringing together all partners and stakeholders of mutual interest on a common platform. The opportunity to collaborate and exchange ideas will be invaluable to address the collective concerns for the global commons. This year, the conference is focusing on the theme, peace, partnership, and prosperity for a resilient future. It is my sincere belief that the theme is very apt and timely in light of the current challenges we are facing in the region and beyond. I'm sure the deliberation during the conference would be a catalyst in our collective efforts in advancing peace and prosperity towards a brighter and resilient future for the region. Excellencies, as we gather here today, I would like to pay my deepest homage to the greatest Bengali of all time, the architect of the independent sovereign Bangladesh, father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. His acumen and prudence rightly realize the significance of the Bay of Bengal for the country's growth and development right after our independence. He enacted the Territorial Waters and Maritime Zones Act 1974, which was the first maritime act of South Asia, and it was adopted 8 years before UN's ITLAWS in 1982. Moreover, he also took the lead in initiating negotiations to resolve the issues of maritime boundary delimitation, ensuring that Bangladesh can explore and exploit its marine resources sustainably to promote the socio-economic growth of its people. All our development aspirations stem from our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's great vision of transforming Bangladesh into a prosperous nation. Distinguished guest, ocean has always played an important role in shaping international relations and economics. They are a crucial source of food and energy and are essential for global trade and transportation. Many ocean-based industries, including shipping, fisheries, renewable energies, and tourism, are essential for economic growth. The value of maritime trade has tripled over the past 15 years. The Indian Ocean region is a vital strategic area that connects the Asia-Pacific and African regions and has significant economic, political, and security implications. The Indian Ocean was once known as Ratnakara in the ancient Sanskrit literature, which means the maker of gems. Following its legacy from the past, even today, the region is poised to play a significant role in the global economy, sharing 64% of global population and 60% of world GDP. In the last few decades, the strategic importance of the Indian Ocean has been steadily increasing in terms of regional security, connectivity, peace, and prosperity. We end by saying the free, open, inclusive, peaceful, secure, and prosperous Indian Ocean region. Despite the significant potentials of Indian Ocean, it faces several challenges. Due to its geographic location and geomorphological conditions, the region is highly vulnerable. Therefore, it is critical for countries in the region to foster partnership and cooperation to ensure peace, stability, and prosperity. It is in line with that spirit we choose the theme of the conference, emphasizing on 3 P's: peace, partnership, and prosperity. We believe partnership in the region can ensure our broader goals of peace and prosperity for a resilient future. Ladies and gentlemen, partnership is particularly crucial in the region given the recent pandemic and the ongoing global economic conditions due to Russia-Ukraine war. At this critical juncture, we see larger economic and political rebalancing. On top of these, we have other existing challenges such as climate change, maritime security, terrorism, job creation, reducing poverty, and natural disasters. Therefore, fostering partnerships and cooperation is vital for recovery and building resilience in the region. Distinguished guests, under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh economic growth has been impressive over the past decades, and it has achieved notable success in reducing poverty and improving other socioeconomic indicators. We are on the verge of graduating from the LDC status in 2026, and we have set our target to emerge as a Sonar Bangla, a developed country by 2041, as dreamed by our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In pursuit of this vision, we look forward to promoting regional peace, stability, cooperation, and development. Because of its geographical location, Indian Ocean is crucial for Bangladesh, and we are committed to working with the Indian Ocean partners for socio-economic development as well as to promote peace, stability, and prosperity in the region. Before I conclude, I would reiterate that this conference will provide a valuable platform for sharing ideas, exchanging knowledge, and fostering meaningful collaborations. I'm sure during the deliberations in various sessions, the participants will engage in constructive and productive discussions to identify concrete measures to foster partnership and cooperation in the region for greater peace, prosperity, and ensuring a resilient future. Lastly, I'd like to reiterate the crucial significance of the Indian Ocean region, and it is therefore imperative for us to work together to ensure peace, stability, and prosperity. I wish you a happy stay in Dhaka and look forward to having a remarkable conference. I thank you all. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu.
Thank you, the Honorable Foreign Minister of Bangladesh, for your words.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I have the pleasure to invite His Excellency Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, the Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, to the podium to deliver his keynote speech. Honorable External Affairs Minister of India.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to join you this evening at the inaugural session of the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. In these years, we have come a long way, and I compliment the organizers, India Foundation, for their commitment and perseverance. This particular conference has been made possible by a partnership with the government of Bangladesh. Let me appreciate the personal support and encouragement extended by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, reflected in her presence amongst us today. I also thank the President of Mauritius and the Vice President of Maldives, all the distinguished ministers, notable dignitaries, scholars, and experts who have joined us. Your attendance will add a richness and texture to our conversations over the next few days. Let me begin with Bangladesh itself, which released its Indo-Pacific Outlook on the 24th of April, 2023. By doing so, Bangladesh joined a number of countries ranging from the ASEAN and East Asia to Europe and North America in articulating its thinking on this important subject. Indo-Pacific is a reality and becoming more so with each passing day. It is a statement of our contemporary globalization and an underlining that we are getting past the framework of 1945. There are obviously nations who have a vested interest in perpetuating the past, as indeed they have in larger international relations, including the structure of the United Nations. But time does not stand still for anyone. Change has to be recognized. And I'm truly glad that Bangladesh has joined the company of those who have done so. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I particularly note from the 4 guiding principles and the 15 objectives of Bangladesh's outlook its respect for the 1982 UN Convention on the Laws of Seas, UNCLOS. It is essential for the credibility of the global order that such foundational regimes are respected and scrupulously observed by all signatories. May I add that the views of Bangladesh are particularly noteworthy because of its standing as a progressive and successful developing economy that is making its fullest contribution to regional growth and prosperity. Let me now address the issue of the Indian Ocean. Because the world is understandably seized of the larger domain of the Indo-Pacific, we should not underplay the issues and challenges of one of its core constituents, the nations of the Indian Ocean. Our historical experience is somewhat different than those of the Pacific, even if we are joined at the hip. There are distinct issues that arise from regional identities, colonial experiences, and geopolitical relationships. Many nations of the Indian Ocean still address developmental challenges that may no longer be relevant in the Pacific. So, even while impressing the essential coherence of the Indo-Pacific, I would urge that we also focus determinedly on the Indian Ocean nations and their challenges. Within the Indian Ocean, we must recognize that there are distinct regions and ecosystems. The Bay of Bengal is a very good example. The countries in this geography have their particular aspirations and agenda, as well as their respective pathways towards progress. We are members of the BIMSTEC, an organization that is increasingly coming into its own. Amongst ourselves, we are very cognizant of the challenges we face in governance, modernization, and security. And we are confident of dealing with them through deeper cooperation and shared efforts. It is by nurturing such building blocks that we will make Indian Ocean, indeed the Indo-Pacific, stronger and more resilient. The requirement of simultaneously addressing the needs of the Indo-Pacific, the Indian Ocean, and its constituent regions is today the task before us. These are not alternatives, but actually self-supporting activities. Naturally, there are aspects of specificity, but equally, there are broad principles that apply to all. For example, the importance of adhering to law, observing norms, and respecting rules is a natural convergence point. It is not possible to build a stable international order without these prerequisites. This is especially so in a continent that has seen so much growth and so much change. When nations disregard their legal obligations or violate long-standing agreements, as we have seen, the damage to trust and confidence is immense. It is therefore essential that all of us take the long view of our cooperation rather than a tactical one of our interests. A significant shared concern through the Indian Ocean is that of unsustainable debt generated by unviable projects. There are lessons from the last 2 decades that we ignore at our peril. If we encourage opaque lending practices, exorbitant ventures, and price points that are unrelated to the market, these are bound to bite us back sooner rather than later. Especially so when sovereign guarantees have been proffered, not always with due diligence. Many of us in the region today are confronting the consequences of our own past choices. This is time to reflect and reform, not one to repeat and reiterate. Connectivity is a particularly crucial issue for all of us. This is because the era of imperialism disrupted the natural linkages of the continent and created regional silos to serve its own ends. In many cases, the hinterland was disadvantaged to the benefit of coastal areas. Building back in the post-colonial era is a long, painful, and arduous task. it is still very much work in progress. How to restore, indeed enhance, flows between distinct regions is today of the utmost priority. For a nation like India, this means a land connect to Southeast Asia and a multimodal one to the Gulf and beyond. Central Asia offers its own distinct challenges due to the obstacles in between. Collectively, the more we work on facilitating smooth and efficient connectivity, the better off we all are. And obviously, we need to respect sovereignty and territorial integrity while doing so. Let me therefore underline that from India's perspective, efficient and effective connectivity to ASEAN in particular will be a game changer. We accord this the utmost priority. As nations of the Indian Ocean, we are united in our interest in the maritime sphere. Here too, there is much that we who inhabit this ocean must reflect on. The era where maritime spaces would be secured by others is now behind us. With each passing day, this is increasingly our shared responsibility. We must discharge that, sharply aware that global good should not be sacrificed at the altar of any national dominance. To do so, we must put in place bilateral, plurilateral, and regional tools and mechanisms to achieve our ends. It would mean exchanging information on white shipping, cooperating on coastal surveillance, or collaborating on maritime domain awareness. Diplomacy cannot rest content merely by articulating positions. It equally needs practical action to back it up. There are some global challenges that also merit regional consideration. Chief among them are climate action and counterterrorism. The universality of these concerns is by now well recognized. It is essential that our conversations aim to encourage common positions. We must also be conscious of the threats to social fabric posed by extremism and fundamentalism, taking advantage of democratic openness. The costs of not doing so are also starkly apparent to all of us today. Nations of the Indian Ocean are among those who lead the rise of Asia and the re-emergence of Africa. They have the responsibility today of shaping the narrative, shaping it about values, practices, and correctness. It is essential that their culture, history, and traditions are presented to the world. If we are to compare the relative weight of littorals, that of the Indian Ocean still has to play catch-up. Our challenge, indeed our responsibility, is to hasten that process. Allow me, therefore, to conclude by reiterating India's commitment to the well-being and progress of all nations of the Indian Ocean. We have dedicated bodies like the Indian Ocean Rim Association or the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium with their specific mandates. We expand on that belief through the Neighborhood First policy, the Sagar Outlook, and our approach to the extended neighborhood. Beyond that, we believe that a seamless transition into an Indo-Pacific is to our collective advantage. This is a gathering of like-minded to have an open and fruitful discussion on various dimensions of our cooperation. I wish the deliberation all success. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for sharing your thoughts.
Distinguished guests, now I have the honor to invite His Excellency, Mr. Faisal Naseem, Honorable Vice President of Maldives, to address the audience.
Chair of the Organizing Committee of the 6th Indian Ocean Conference, Honorable Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, distinguished ministers and head of delegations, distinguished representatives of the India Foundation, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. Let me begin by thanking the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh for the gracious hospitality extended to my delegation and I on this visit to Dhaka. I would like to congratulate Honorable Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, on hosting this conference in the beautiful metropolis of Bangladesh. I would also like to thank India Foundation for inviting me to share the views of the government of the Maldives on peace, prosperity, and partnership for a resilient future. This theme is highly relevant to the present-day realities and requirements for the sustainable development for all of us. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a resilient and sustainable future is a choice that requires proactive measures that promotes transformation. It involves adaptive management, learning, innovation, and the leadership to manage risk and uncertainty. First, we must increase our engagements and unify our collective efforts to ensure peace in the region. A single nation cannot ensure the security and resilience of the region surrounding the vast Indian Ocean. We must accept the collective responsibility for ensuring regional stability by strengthening our regional alliances. Second, we must leverage cooperation to generate sustained economic development in order to assure the security and prosperity of our region's citizens and beyond. The Indian Ocean region is home to some of the world's fastest growing civilizations. It serves as a hub for trade with the Middle East, Africa, East Asia, Europe, and the Americas. It is a responsibility, therefore, of all the nations to ensure peace, economic prosperity, environmental protection, and international rules in the region. President Ibrahim Saleh has made the security of the Indian Ocean a top priority. We are mindful of obstacles that threaten stable socio-economic progress in the Indian Ocean, including non-traditional security threats such as terrorism, human trafficking, irregular migration, drug smuggling, and illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Degradation of ocean health, illegal exploitation of marine resources, and climate change are additional concerns in the region of the Indian Ocean. Small low-lying islands nations such as the Maldives are particularly vulnerable to climate pressures. The nations of the Indian Ocean are the most vulnerable as a number of their populations reside in low-lying coastal settlements. Third, we must establish partnerships based on mutual respect and trust. This is essential for resolving outstanding issues and promoting prosperity, sustainability, and stability in the Indian Ocean region through a rule-based approach. We should focus on development, actively engage in practical cooperation in business and trade, energy, science and technology, and exert considerable effort to better the lives of the populace. Our societies are becoming increasingly interconnected and interdependent, evolving as a community with a common future. The economic turmoil created by the COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, has revealed numerous vulnerabilities in the global supply chain and starkly reminded us of the important need to build and harmonize our international partnerships to guarantee undisrupted supply chains. As a country totally reliant on imports from food to fuel, the Maldives faced several challenges with the closure of borders during the pandemic. We had the good fortune of enjoying close relations with all our bilateral partners, especially with our close neighbors in the Indian Ocean, and our challenges were met with their prompt assistance. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, numerous solutions to the problems confronting the planet and humanity are already known. In reality, we cannot effectively address any of these challenges if we lack effective institutions that can regulate and monitor progress in all these domains. We must be mindful to recognize our deficiencies in this regard. The Maldives is committed to ensuring sustainable fishing practices and has joined the Indian Ocean Rim Association in 2019. IORA has been successful in uniting nations with a shared vision for the Indian Ocean, and the Maldives will stand firm in promoting the region's sustained growth and balanced development as a member of IORA. The Maldives is also an active member of the Colombo Security Conclave, with its focus on ensuring maritime safety and security in the Indian Ocean, terrorism and radicalization, cybersecurity and humanitarian aid, and disaster relief. The conclave has established frameworks for cooperation while also strengthening cooperation within the countries. Faced with these global challenges, I hope we will uphold the spirit of partnership, inclusiveness, openness, and intensified dialogue to increase mutual trust and coordination and work together to establish a prosperous and peaceful future for the region. This conference affords us a great opportunity to do precisely that. We are eager to benefit from the collective knowledge of our esteemed panelists, speakers, and guests so that we can make positive contributions to the many areas of shared interest. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure a healthy and prosperous future for all, we must increase our engagements and unify our collective efforts through greater leadership. Let us remain steadfast in our commitments to regional peace and prosperity, uphold the spirit of partnership, inclusiveness, and transparency, and collaborate for a future of enduring peace and shared prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Honorable Vice President of Maldives, for your speech.
Excellencies, distinguished presence. Now I am delighted to invite His Excellency Mr. Prithviraj Singh Rupon, GCSK, Honorable President of the Republic of Mauritius, to kindly share his remarks. Honorable President of the Republic of Mauritius.
Honorable Sheikh Hasina, Prime Minister of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Faisal Nassin, Vice President of Maldives, Honorable Abdul Momen, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs of the Republic of India, Mr. Ram Madhav, founding member of Governing Council of India Foundation, board members of the Governing Council of the India Foundation, heads of delegations and representatives of regional and international organizations, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. My greetings, my salam, my namaskar to all of you. I am immensely pleased and honored to be addressing the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. At the very outset, I would like to jointly thank the government of Bangladesh, the Honorable Minister of External Affairs of India, the Governing Council of the India Foundation for inviting Mauritius to participate in this conference, as well as for the warm welcome and gracious hospitality. I feel also duty-bound to pay my tribute and profound respect to the father of the nation and founder of Bangladesh, Banglabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I had also the honor and privilege of visiting the Memorial Museum first thing on my arrival yesterday. I also wish to convey the brotherly greetings of the people of the Republic of Mauritius to all Bangladeshis. A cordial salam, especially to the relatives and loved ones of the thousands of sons and daughters of Bangladesh who are working in Mauritius and helping us in different sectors of the economy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Mauritius fully endorses this year's theme, entitled Peace, Prosperity and Partnership for a Resilient Future. Very challenging indeed, considering the present changing paradigm, yet eminently positive and forward-looking. The Indian Ocean, home to nearly 3 billion, has regained its historical prominence. It now constitutes the main axle of gravity in this multipolar world. And it is essentially for countries around the Indian Ocean region, all of us, irrespective of our varying sizes, to partner, work together, and combine our efforts, strive to foster peace, and endeavor to lead the world into a new era of lasting stability and prosperity. This conference comes at a challenging and crucial moment. In this post-COVID era and the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, all long-held assumptions have been disturbed. The international context is furthermore compounded by furtherance of national interests and the emergence of new alliances. All assembled here have thus this common responsibility to design ways and means to overcome those challenges, develop resilience, and create new opportunities. And I'm confident that this gathering will guide our deliberations in charting an effective roadmap to meet the objectives of the conference. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Mauritius very early in the day realized that to expand its political and economic space, it should embrace a high dose of pragmatism. True to our multi-ethnic background and deep respect for diversity, we espouse a high degree of openness in terms of our attitude and culture, our national and foreign policy, and our economic strategy and development model. Our belonging to the Commonwealth and to the Francophone organization also helped Mauritius to establish close relations with newly independent Anglophone and Francophone states. In the Cold War divide, we fully supported the concept of the Indian Ocean as a zone of peace. Mauritius also stepped in the realm of international relations as a small island developing state to voice our specificities on social, economic, and environmental challenges, particularly climate change. Yet, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, being a small country, Mauritius cannot write history and is resigned to accept the world as it is. At the dawn of our independence, Mauritius had its territory dismembered. The Chagos Archipelago was detached by the then colonial power in clear violation of international law and the UN General Assembly Declaration. We have persistently maintained that in so doing, our decolonization remained incomplete, and we have been fighting for full sovereignty over the Chagos Archipelago. We have had the unflinching support of a large majority of states, including the African continent, Bangladesh, and India, among others, all throughout, starting from the advisory opinions of the International Court of Justice in 2019 to the judgment delivered by the Special Chamber of the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea just recently in April. We pray for continued support from all of you so that at the earliest, Mauritius can have full and effective sovereignty over the Chagos Archipelago. Excellencies, at a very early stage, Mauritius also expressed its commitment in furthering regional cooperation as an instrument for peace, progress, and prosperity. We developed special relations with all countries within our region and the African continent. India, given our shared people-to-people history, ever since the establishment of diplomatic relations as early as 1948 and up till now, has remained a strategic partner accompanying Mauritius in its development process. The creation of the Indian Ocean Commission in 1982, bringing together 5 member states of the Southwest Indian Ocean, namely the Comoros, France on behalf of Réunion Island, Madagascar, Mauritius, and Seychelles, also bear testimony to this endeavor. This commission is the only regional organization in Africa composed exclusively of islands. It defends the specificities of its member states on the continental and international scenes, whilst also cooperating in projects covering a wide range of sectors, such as preservation of ecosystems, sustainable management of natural resources, renewable energy, and maritime safety. The Indian Ocean Commission has strengthened and diversified its partnerships since 2016 and welcomed observer members including China, India, Japan, the European Union, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, and the United Nations. This has paved the way for the development of mutually beneficial relationships in the sphere of regional cooperation and relating particularly to maritime security. In parallel, the Indian Ocean Rim Association, IORA, was created in 1997 to strengthen the ties between member states whose shores are washed by the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean, bringing together countries from contours of Asia to the shores of Africa and the Middle East, and stretching from its multitude of islands to Australia. It may be recalled that the vision for countries linked to the Indian Ocean to become a single platform originated during a visit by late President Nelson Mandela to India in 1995, where he said, I quote, "The natural urge of the facts of history and geography should broaden itself to include the concept of an Indian Ocean rim for socio-economic cooperation and other peaceful endeavors," unquote. Today, the IORA is a dynamic organization of 23 member states and 10 dialogue partners with an ever-growing momentum for mutually beneficial regional cooperation through a consensus-based, evolutionary, and non-intrusive approach. Excellencies, security is at the core of peace and prosperity. As stated earlier, piracy, territorial disputes, terrorism, and illicit arms, drugs, and human trafficking, illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, oil spills, and maritime pollution, just to mention a few, represent a major threat to maritime security and pose significant governance challenges for policymakers of the region. It is therefore essential that we deepen our mutual cooperation, strengthen our ability, and ensure safety and stability in the Indian Ocean. In that regard, the enhancement of maritime domain awareness is an important aspect. The initiative by India in 2018 to set up the Information Fusion Center, Indian Ocean region, should also be applauded. We also welcome the recent signing of an MOU between the Center and the Indian Ocean Commission-led Architecture for Maritime Security and its Regional Coordination Operation Center in Seychelles. These are concrete examples we need to emulate. Given that individually we cannot effectively address such threats in a sustainable manner. Indeed, I have the pleasure to announce that with the collaboration of the Indian Ocean Commission, Mauritius will be hosting the third Ministerial Conference on Maritime Security later this year. In the same vein, we should commend the India Foundation for this present platform, which enables high-level and key stakeholders to exchange ideas, propose concerted approaches, and take collective initiatives. Excellencies, the global economy remains continuously threatened by post-COVID uncertainties compounded by the present ongoing war. We have been witnessing significant disruptions in trade and food supplies and surge in fuel price. These are contributing to greater financial stress, increased debt levels, high inflation, and significant tightening in global financing. We all apprehend prolonged and intensified hostilities. This is a real and legitimate cause of concern. It is thus imperative that we find alternative solutions which would facilitate smoother movement of goods and people, boost tourism, develop better infrastructure, protect the environment and improve disaster response, develop the blue economy, amongst others. To improve maritime connectivity, reflections are being undertaken by Mauritius on how to set up feeder maritime services. However, the costs are prohibitive. We would invite all of you to join us and reflect on a feasible solution. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on a concluding note, let me once again reiterate that we should strive to maintain a peaceful environment within the Indian Ocean region and beyond. Peace is essential. Without peace, there is no prosperity. But prosperity also demands that we look beyond our diverse national ambitions. No country, big or small, has the ability to build a resilient future on its own. Thus, we should all partner. We need collective actions among regional organizations, governments, the private sector, and civil society. We should all endeavor to build trust, identify our common objectives, and collectively move towards our set goals, with the ultimate aim of boosting peace and prosperity. Let us start by working on regional projects which have the potential to yield positive outcomes for the betterment of our people. With this expectation, I thank you for your kind attention and wish all success to the 6th Indian Ocean Conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, the Honorable President of the Republic of Mauritius, for your remarks.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and privilege to request today's chief guest, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, to deliver her speech. Distinguished guests are requested to use their interpretation device as required.
বিসমিল্লাহির রহমানির রহিম। মরিশাসের মহামান্য রাষ্ট্রপতি জনাব পৃথ্বীরাজ সিং রুম্পান জিসিএসকে, মালদ্বীপের মাননীয় উপরাষ্ট্রপতি জনাব ফয়সাল নাসিম, মন্ত্রিপরিষদের মাননীয় সদস্যবর্গ, সম্মানিত অতিথিবৃন্দ, উপস্থিত সুধীমণ্ডলী, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, শুভ সন্ধ্যা। পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন অঞ্চল থেকে, বিশেষ করে ইন্ডিয়ান ওশান রিম থেকে যারা এসেছেন, সকলকে বাংলাদেশে, আমাদের সবুজ সুন্দর বাংলাদেশে আপনাদেরকে স্বাগত জানাতে পেরে আমরা অত্যন্ত আনন্দিত। বাংলাদেশের জনগণের পক্ষ থেকে এবং আমার ব্যক্তিগত পক্ষ থেকে সবাইকেই আমি আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাই। ঢাকায় এই সম্মেলনের ষষ্ঠ সংস্করণ আয়োজনে আমাদের সহযোগিতা করবার জন্য আমি ভারত সরকার এবং ইন্ডিয়া ফাউন্ডেশনকে আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। এই সম্মেলনে অভিন্ন লক্ষ্য অর্জনের জন্য আমাদের একসঙ্গে কাজ করার এবং মত বিনিময় করার একটা সুযোগ সৃষ্টি হয়েছে। শুধু আমি গভীর শ্রদ্ধার সাথে স্মরণ করছি সর্বকালের সর্বশ্রেষ্ঠ বাঙালি জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানকে। আমাদের মহান মুক্তিযুদ্ধের 30 লক্ষ শহীদ এবং 2 লক্ষ মা বোন, তাদের প্রতিও আমি শ্রদ্ধা জানাই। 75 15 আগস্ট আমি আমার বাবা মা ভাই সব হারিয়েছি। আমি তাদের আত্মার মাগফিরাত কামনা করি। সম্মানিত সুধীবৃন্দ, বর্তমানে সাগর মহাসাগর সমূহের মাধ্যমে বিশ্বের বাণিজ্যের প্রায় 90% এবং তেল পরিবহনে 60% পরিচালিত হচ্ছে। সমুদ্রপথে প্রকৃত বাণিজ্য বিগত 15 বছরে আরও বৃদ্ধি পেয়েছে। বিশ্বব্যাপী দেশসমূহের টেকসই উন্নয়ন নিশ্চিত করতে সামুদ্রিক যোগাযোগ ও বাণিজ্য অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ ভূমিকা পালন করে থাকে, কিন্তু এই বিপুল সম্ভাবনা এখনও অনেকটা অব্যবহৃত রয়েছে। সুধীবৃন্দ, এশিয়া প্রশান্ত মহাসাগরীয় ও আফ্রিকা অঞ্চলসমূহে ভারত মহাসাগরীয় অঞ্চলের অর্থনৈতিক, রাজনৈতিক এবং কৌশলগত উল্লেখযোগ্য গুরুত্ব রয়েছে। বর্তমানে বৈশ্বিক জনসংখ্যার 64% এই অঞ্চলে বাস করে এবং জিডিপিতে আমাদের এই অঞ্চলের অবদান এটাও 7%। বিপুল সম্ভাবনা থাকা সত্ত্বেও এই অঞ্চলটি নানাবিধ প্রতিকূলতার সম্মুখীন হচ্ছে প্রতিনিয়ত। ভারত মহাসাগরীয় অঞ্চলে শান্তি ও সমৃদ্ধি নিশ্চিত করার জন্য এই অঞ্চলের দেশগুলোর মধ্যে অংশীদারিত্ব ও সহযোগিতা একান্তভাবে বৃদ্ধি করা আবশ্যক। জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান বাংলাদেশের উন্নয়ন, প্রবৃদ্ধি ও স্থিতিশীলতার জন্য সর্বদা সামুদ্রিক সম্পদের সর্বত্র ব্যবহারের উপর গুরুত্ব আরোপ করেছেন। একজন দূরদর্শী নেতা হিসেবে 1974 সালে তিনি বাংলাদেশের স্বাধীনতার পরপরই 1974 সালে টেরিটোরিয়াল ওয়াটার্স অ্যান্ড মেরিটাইম জোন অ্যাক্ট 1974 প্রণয়ন করেন। উল্লেখ্য যে এই আইনটি সমুদ্র আইন সম্পর্কিত জাতিসংঘ কনভেনশন 1982 ঘোষণার 8 বছর আগেই তিনি এটা করেছিলেন। কাজেই আমি মনে করি যে একজন দূরদর্শী নেতা হিসেবে সমুদ্র সম্পদকে যথাযথভাবে কাজে লাগানো, অনুসন্ধান করা এবং অর্থনৈতিক উন্নয়নে যেন ব্যাপকভাবে ব্যবহার করা যায় সেই কথা চিন্তা করেই তিনি এই কাজ করেছিলেন। সম্মানিত অতিথিবৃন্দ, এবারের এই সম্মেলনে যে প্রতিপাদ্য বিষয় আমি মনে করি সেটা অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, যেমন টেকসই ভবিষ্যতের জন্য শান্তি, অংশীদারিত্ব এবং সমৃদ্ধি, অর্থাৎ পিস, পার্টনারশিপ অ্যান্ড প্রসপারিটি ফর এ রেজিলিয়েন্ট ফিউচার, অর্থাৎ আমি মনে করি এটা অত্যন্ত সময়োপযোগী এবং যথাযথ হয়েছে। টেকসই ভবিষ্যৎ নিশ্চিতকরণে অংশীদারিত্ব, শান্তি ও সমৃদ্ধির মধ্যে সম্পর্ক অবিচ্ছেদ্য। সাম্প্রতিক সময় কোভিড-19 অতিমারি এবং চলমান রাশিয়া ইউক্রেন সংঘাতের যুদ্ধের প্রেক্ষিতে আরোপিত নিষেধাজ্ঞা বা পাল্টা নিষেধাজ্ঞা বিশ্বব্যাপী অনেক চ্যালেঞ্জ সৃষ্টি করেছে, যার প্রেক্ষাপটে আজকের এই সম্মেলনের প্রতিপাদ্য আরও বেশি প্রাসঙ্গিক এবং গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বলে আমি মনে করি। বৈশ্বিক অর্থনৈতিক মন্দা, খাদ্য, জ্বালানি, সার সংকটের ফলে বিশ্বজুড়ে মানুষের জীবনযাত্রা অসহনীয় হয়ে উঠেছে। ভারত মহাসাগরীয় অঞ্চলকেও জলবায়ু পরিবর্তন, সামুদ্রিক নিরাপত্তা, সন্ত্রাসবাদ, প্রাকৃতিক দুর্যোগের মতো চ্যালেঞ্জসমূহ প্রতিনিয়ত মোকাবেলা করতে হচ্ছে। এ সকল চ্যালেঞ্জ মোকাবেলায় এবং ভারত মহাসাগরীয় অঞ্চলে শান্তি ও সমৃদ্ধি প্রতিষ্ঠার জন্য এই অঞ্চলের দেশগুলোকে অংশীদারিত্ব এবং সম্মিলিত প্রচেষ্টার উপরই জোর দিতে হবে। কোভিড পরবর্তী সময় এবং রাশিয়া ইউক্রেন যুদ্ধের প্রেক্ষাপটে 2022 সালের ডিসেম্বরে জাতিসংঘ সাধারণ অধিবেশন ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইয়ার অফ ডায়ালগ অ্যাজ এ গ্যারান্টি অফ পিস 2023 শীর্ষক একটি প্রস্তাব সর্বসম্মতিক্রমে গৃহীত হয়েছিল। জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবের 1974 সালে জাতিসংঘে দেওয়া ভাষণের ঐতিহাসিক উদ্ধৃতি, যা বাংলাদেশের মূল পররাষ্ট্রনীতি ও রেজুলেশনের 14তম অনুচ্ছেদে সন্নিবেশিত রয়েছে। সেখানে দারিদ্র্য, ক্ষুধা, রোগ, নিরক্ষরতা ও বেকারত্বের নিরসনের কাজ করার গুরুত্ব অনুধাবন করা হয়েছে। এই উদ্দেশ্যগুলি অর্জনের জন্য গঠনমূলক সহযোগিতা, সংলাপ এবং পারস্পরিক বোঝাপড়া চেতনায় সকলের সঙ্গে বন্ধুত্ব, কারো সাথে বৈরিতা নয়, এই প্রতিপাদ্য উপরে জোর দেওয়া হয়েছে। আর বাংলাদেশ এই নীতি আমাদের পররাষ্ট্র নীতি হিসেবে আমরা মেনে চলি। ভারত মহাসাগর অঞ্চলের টেকসই ভবিষ্যতের জন্য আমাদের কর্মপরিকল্পনা প্রণয়নের প্রচেষ্টায়ও জাতির পিতার উপযুক্ত উক্তিটি একইভাবে প্রাসঙ্গিক। বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবের উদ্ধৃতির সঙ্গে সামঞ্জস্য রেখে এই অঞ্চলের শান্তি ও সমৃদ্ধি নিশ্চিতকল্পে যৌথ লক্ষ্য অর্জনের জন্য অর্থপূর্ণ সহযোগিতা, সংলাপ এবং পারস্পরিক বোঝাপড়ায় আমাদের কার্যকর অংশীদারিত্ব প্রয়োজন। জাতিপিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান 1974 সালে জাতিসংঘ সাধারণ অধিবেশনে তার ঐতিহাসিক ভাষণে তিনি বলেছিলেন, আমি কোট করছি, মানব জাতির অস্তিত্ব রক্ষার জন্য শান্তি অত্যন্ত জরুরি এবং তা সমগ্র বিশ্বে নরনারীর গভীর আকাঙ্ক্ষারই প্রতিফলন ঘটাবে, আনকোড। এই ভাষণে তিনি ভারত মহাসাগরকে শান্তিপূর্ণ এলাকা হিসেবে প্রতিষ্ঠা করার উপর বিশেষভাবে জোর দিয়েছিলেন। বিশ্ব শান্তি ও মানবাধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠার লক্ষ্যে কাজের অবদানের স্বীকৃতিস্বরূপ বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবকে 1973 সালে 23শে মে জুলিও কুরি শান্তি পদকে ভূষিত করা হয়। বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবের দর্শন অনুসরণ করে বাংলাদেশ বিশ্বশান্তি একনিষ্ঠ প্রবক্তা হিসেবে নিজেকে প্রতিষ্ঠা করেছে। আমরা 1997 সালে জাতিসংঘে কালচার অফ পিস, শান্তির সংস্কৃতি এই সংক্রান্ত একটা ঘোষণা দিই এবং এই কর্মসূচি রেজুলেশন আকারে উত্থাপন করি, যা সর্বসম্মতিক্রমে গৃহীত হয়েছিল। এরই ধারাবাহিকতায় জাতিসংঘ 2000 সালকে ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইয়ার অফ কালচার অফ পিস হিসেবে ঘোষণা করে এবং 2001 থেকে 2010 সকলকে কালচার অফ পিস অ্যান্ড দ্য ডিকেড অফ নন ভায়োলেন্স হিসেবে ঘোষণা করে। শান্তির বার্তাকে সর্বাত্মকভাবে সুসংহত করতে কালচার অফ পিস প্রতিষ্ঠা অপরিহার্য বলে বাংলাদেশ মনে করে। এ কারণেই বিশ্বব্যাপী শান্তি রক্ষা ও শান্তি বিনির্মাণের প্রচেষ্টায় বাংলাদেশ সব সময় প্রতিশ্রুতিবদ্ধ। আমরা জাতিসংঘের সর্বোচ্চ শান্তিরক্ষী প্রেরণকারী দেশ। নানা প্রতিকূলতা সত্ত্বেও আমরা 1.1 মিলিয়নেরও বেশি জোরপূর্বক বাস্তুচ্যুত মিয়ানমারের নাগরিকদের অস্থায়ীভাবে আশ্রয় দিয়েছি, যার ফলে এই অঞ্চলে বড় ধরনের মানবিক বিপর্যয় প্রতিরোধ করা সম্ভব হয়েছে। এখন আমরা রোহিঙ্গা জনগোষ্ঠীকে নিরাপদ ও শান্তিপূর্ণ উপায়ে তাদের মাতৃভূমিতে প্রত্যাবাসন নিশ্চিতকরণে বিশ্ব সম্প্রদায়ের কাছে আমরা তাদের সমর্থন চাই। তার কারণ এই বোঝা টানা এখন আমাদের পক্ষে অত্যন্ত কষ্টকর হয়ে উঠেছে। একটি উপকূলীয় রাষ্ট্র হিসেবে বহু শতাব্দী ধরে বাংলাদেশ বিভিন্ন সামুদ্রিক কার্যকলাপের প্রাণকেন্দ্র। বাংলাদেশ সমুদ্র বিষয়ক আঞ্চলিক প্ল্যাটফর্মে সক্রিয় রয়েছে। বর্তমানে বাংলাদেশ ইন্ডিয়ান ওশান রিম অ্যাসোসিয়েশন এবং কাউন্সিল অব দ্য ইন্টারন্যাশনাল সি বেড অথরিটির সভাপতি হিসেবে দায়িত্ব পালন করছে। সম্মানিত উপস্থিতিবৃন্দ, গত এক দশকে বাংলাদেশ আর্থসামাজিক উন্নয়ন এবং সামাজিক ন্যায় বিচার প্রতিষ্ঠা উল্লেখযোগ্য অগ্রগতি সাধন করেছে। বাংলাদেশ এখন বিশ্বের 35তম বৃহত্তম অর্থনৈতিক দেশ। সাম্প্রতিক বছরগুলোতে আমাদের চরম দারিদ্র্যের হার 5.6% নেমে এসেছে, যা ছিল প্রায় 25% উপরে, এবং আমাদের মাথাপিছু আয় গত এক দশকে 3 গুণ বৃদ্ধি পেয়ে $2,824 মিলিয়ন মার্কিন ডলার উন্নীত হয়েছে। উপরন্তু বাংলাদেশ 2026 সালে স্বল্পোন্নত দেশ থেকে অর্থাৎ এলডিসি থেকে উন্নয়নশীল দেশে উত্তরণের জন্য প্রয়োজনীয় মানদণ্ড পূরণ করেছে এবং এই ধারাবাহিকতাও আমরা বজায় রেখেছি। আমরা চাই যে আমাদের দেশ বাংলাদেশ স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ হিসেবে প্রতিষ্ঠা লাভ করুক, যেখানে একটি শক্তিশালী ভৌত অবকাঠামো আমাদের ক্রমবর্ধমান অর্থনীতিকে চলমান রাখবে। গত বছর আমরা নিজস্ব অর্থায়নে পদ্মা বহুমুখী সেতু উদ্বোধন করেছি নিজস্ব অর্থায়নে নির্মাণ করেছি এবং আমরা যে পারি সেটাও আমরা প্রমাণ করেছি। সম্প্রতি আমরা রাজধানীতে প্রথম মেট্রো রেল উদ্বোধন করেছি। আমরা চট্টগ্রামে 3.2 কিলোমিটার বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান টানেল কর্ণফুলী নদীর নিচে আমরা নির্মাণ কাজ চলমান, খুব তাড়াতাড়ি সেটা শেষ করব। নদীর তলদেশে এই ধরনের স্থাপনা দক্ষিণ এশিয়ায় এটাই সর্বপ্রথম। আমাদের স্বপ্ন হলো 2041 সালের মধ্যে বাংলাদেশ একটি জ্ঞানভিত্তিক, আধুনিক, প্রযুক্তি জ্ঞান সম্পন্ন, উন্নত সমৃদ্ধ সোনার বাংলাদেশ হিসেবে গড়ে উঠবে এবং বাংলাদেশ একটি বদ্বীপ। 2100 সালের মধ্যে একটি সমৃদ্ধ ও জলবায়ু সহনশীল বদ্বীপ হিসেবে বাংলাদেশকে আমরা গড়ে তুলতে চাই। সে পরিকল্পনা গ্রহণ করে তা আমরা বাস্তবায়ন শুরু করেছি। এই লক্ষ্যসমূহ অর্জনের জন্য কৌশল হিসেবে আমরা টেকসই অর্থনৈতিক প্রবৃদ্ধি এবং সবার জন্য সুযোগ তৈরি করার উপর গুরুত্ব আরোপ করছি। ভৌগোলিক অবস্থানের কারণে বাংলাদেশ ভারত মহাসাগরের জন্য শুধু নয়, এই অঞ্চলের সকল দেশের জন্য অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। সম্প্রতি আমরা আমাদের ইন্দো প্যাসিফিক কৌশল তৈরি করেছি। এরই ধারাবাহিকতায় আমি ষষ্ঠ ইন্ডিয়ান ওশান কনফারেন্সে ভারত মহাসাগর অঞ্চলের জন্য 6টি বিষয়ের উপর গুরুত্ব আরোপ করতে চাই। প্রথম, ভারত মহাসাগরীয় অঞ্চলের দেশসমূহকে তাদের উন্নয়ন এবং সমৃদ্ধ ভবিষ্যৎ নিশ্চিত করার লক্ষ্যে সমুদ্র কূটনীতি অর্থাৎ মেরিটাইম ডিপ্লোম্যাসি এটা জোরালো করতে হবে। দ্বিতীয়ত, এই অঞ্চলের অনেক দেশ জলবায়ু পরিবর্তনজনিত প্রভাবের ঝুঁকিতে থাকার বিষয়টি বিবেচনা করে প্রাকৃতিক দুর্যোগ এবং তদ সংশ্লিষ্ট ক্ষয়ক্ষতি কমাতে আমাদের সহযোগিতা বাড়াতে হবে। তৃতীয়ত, একটা স্থিতিশীল এবং টেকসই ভবিষ্যতের জন্য ভারত মহাসাগরীয় দেশগুলোর মধ্যে পারস্পরিক বিশ্বাস এবং সমূহের ভিত্তিতে শক্তিশালী অংশীদারিত্ব গড়ে তুলতে হবে। চতুর্থ, ভারত মহাসাগরের সামুদ্রিক নিরাপত্তা সংক্রান্ত বিদ্যমান ব্যবস্থাকে আরও শক্তিশালী করা এবং সমুদ্রের জরুরি পরিস্থিতিতে সাড়া দেওয়া, অনুসন্ধান, উদ্ধার কাজে সহায়তা এবং আন্তর্জাতিক আইন অনুসারে নৌ ও বিমান চলাচল নিশ্চিত করা হবে। পঞ্চম, শান্তির সংস্কৃতি চর্চা এবং জনবান্ধব উন্নয়নের প্রসার করতে হবে। একটি শান্তিপূর্ণ, সমতাভিত্তিক এবং অন্তর্ভুক্তিমূলক সমাজ গঠনের উদ্দেশ্যে বিশ্ব জনগোষ্ঠীর যে অর্ধেক নারী সম্প্রদায় তাদেরকেও যথেষ্ট গুরুত্ব দিতে হবে। ষষ্ঠ, উন্মুক্ত, স্বচ্ছ, নিয়মভিত্তিক বহুপাক্ষিক ব্যবস্থার প্রসার করা, যা অন্তর্ভুক্তিমূলক অর্থনৈতিক প্রবৃদ্ধির মাধ্যমে এই অঞ্চলে এবং তার বাইরেও সমতাভিত্তিক টেকসই উন্নয়নকে ত্বরান্বিত করতে হবে। আমি আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাই সবাইকে। আবারও আমি বাংলাদেশে আগমনের জন্য আমাদের অতিথিদের প্রতি আমার আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ এবং এখানে উপস্থিত সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আমি এই সম্মেলনের সর্বাঙ্গীন সাফল্য কামনা করছি। আপনাদের সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। জয় বাংলা, জয় বঙ্গবন্ধু, বাংলাদেশ চিরজীবী হোক। খোদা হাফেজ। ধন্যবাদ।
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, for sharing your thoughts and guidance for a journey towards peace, prosperity, and partnership for a resilient future.
Excellencies, now it's time for a family photo. May I request our distinguished delegates only who have received a place number to kindly take their spot on the stage. Delegates only who have received a place number kindly take their spot on the stage.